Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitāmrita class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharo Anvilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. We are discussing Ram Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are in Madhya Lila, chapter 4, the devotional Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. Very, very beautiful, wonderful chapter in which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he is on the way from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri, on the way, he reaches this wonderful small village of Remuna. And there, he is telling the story of Madhavendra Puri as he had heard from his spiritual master, Ishwar Puri, Remunate Gopinatha. So the deity at the village of Remuna is Gopinath. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing the glory of this deity of Gopinath. How this Gopinath deity stole sweet rice for his great devotee Madhavendra Puri. So far, we have discussed how this Madhavendra Puri, he had ayachaka vritti. He would not beg anything from anyone. Whatever would come of its own, he would accept it. And one day, as he was in Vrindavan, sitting in Govardhan at Govindkund, a small boy comes and gives pot of milk. And Madhavendra Puri is surprised. He says, "How come you know I have not eaten?" So he says, "No, some ladies they came to take water and they have sent me." And then later, this boy who was a Gopal, he came in the dream of Madhavendra Puri and said, "Please take me out of this place. Uh, I am, burning because of the heat. Bathe me with lots of water and install me." So that's how Madhavendra Puri, took out the deity of Gopalji with the help of the villagers, installed him on the Govardhan, made a beautiful small temple with the help of some rich merchants, Kshatriyas, and every day there was a festival. And then Madhavendra Puri, he started the worship. Two Brahmanas came. He made them in charge of the worship of the deities. 2 years passed by. Then again, Gopalji came in the dream and said, "I am still feeling lots of heat. पूरी मोर ताप नहीं आए मलय जे चंदन लेप तबे से जुड़ाए I am feeling hungry. Please get chandan for me. Then I'll be happy." So that's how Madhavendra Puri starts from Vrindavan and he reaches Remuna on the way to Jagannath Puri. In Remuna, he sees beautiful Gopinath deity and he comes to know that, oh, the deities were offered various items. He had the desire. I want to also know what all things are offered to Gopinath so that I can make the same preparation. And one specific preparation was the Amrit Keli sweet rice. But, as he desired, the Bhoga was not yet offered. So he feels ashamed and he's sitting in the marketplace after the Aarti. Lord comes in the dream of the priest and says, "I have stolen a pot of sweet rice." please go and find out Madhavendra Puri. So this pujari is, searching in the marketplace. Who is this Madhavendra Puri? Toma lagi Gopinath Kheer Koila Churi. And then Madhavendra Puri introduces himself. So we discussed till verse number 137. We'll continue from there. So Madhavendra Puri, he became fearful that now people will come to know that deity has stolen sweet rice for me. Everybody will talk about my glories. So he became fearful of the fame. Generally, we become fearful when we are not having that fame. But that is the difference between a devotee and outsider. So in 137th verse, Kaviraj Goswami says that Prema dekhi sevak kahe hayya vismit krishnaya iharavas haye yathuchit. So when this pujari saw that Madhavendra Puri, he became so very ecstatic hearing that Lord stole sweet rice for me. And this Brahmana could understand, this priest could understand. Yes, there is no astonishment that Lord stole sweet rice for this person. See the wonderful ecstasy he has. Prabhupada writes, one cannot understand Krishna simply by reading scriptures. So priest offered obeisances to Madhavendra Puri, returned to temple, and Madhavendra Puri ate that sweet rice in ecstasy. He was so very happy. But that's what we discussed last time. Anyone would be in ecstasy, eating the sweet rice. If Lord steals sweet rice for anyone, that person will be really joyful. He'll be in ecstasy. But what makes Madhavendra Puri a great pure devotee is what he did after eating that sweet rice. He broke that pot, he washed that pot, broke it into pieces, and he tied all those pieces in his cloth, kept it very nicely. What he was doing with that? Pratidin ek khani kore na bhakshane khaila prema vesh hoye adbhuta kathane. Every day he would eat one piece of that pot. And Kaviraj Goswami says, Khaila prema vesh hoye. He would go into same ecstasy eating that pot, the piece of that pot. That makes him a pure devotee. That is Adbhut Kathan. Kaviraj Goswami says, these are the wonderful stories. Thakur mor kshir dela lok shab shuni dine lok bhid habe mor pratishtha jani. So now, after eating the sweet rice, Madhavendra Puri starts contemplating Thakur mor kshir dela. Lokashab Suni, now people will come to know that Lord has stolen sweet rice for me. What will happen? Din lok bhid bade. Next morning, people will come to know. They will come and they will just gather around here. Mora Pratishtha Jani, I will become famous. So anybody would say that, well, what is the problem? For pure devotee, fame is an impediment because there are chances that one gets swayed away. Raghunath Das Goswami, he has written a bhajan, and in that Vaishnav K, he says, Jadera Pratishtha Shukarera Veshtha Janina Kitaha Mayara Vaibhav. Jadera Pratishtha, the fame of this world is like the hog's stool. One should know for sure. It is so obnoxious. But still, even if we hear so many things about the fame of the world, but when fame comes, oh, thoda chalega. What's the problem? Thoda chalega. Another place, Raghunath Das Goswami writes, it is like bathing in donkey's urine. Desire for fame of this world is like bathing in donkey's urine. Sei bhare ratri sheshe chalila Shri Puri, sei khane gopinathe dandavata kori. Because of the fear of the fame, he left that place at night only. On the way, he offered obeisances to Gopinath and he left for Jagannath Puri. So now, after this, first instance, when fame came, he ran away from that fame. But now, when he reached Jagannath Puri, what he did after reaching there, that is very important. That is Yukta Vairagya. That is what Madhavendra Puri is showing, that a devotee is not interested in fame or no fame. He is interested in only one thing. How can I serve Krishna better? So Madhavendra Puri finally reached Jagannath Puri. He saw Lord Jagannath. He was dancing in ecstasy, so very happy, wonderful, blissful. Prema veshe uthe pade hase nache gaye, Jagannath darshane mahasukha paye. He was chanting, dancing, crying tears of ecstasy, having darshan of the Lord. He was experiencing such a wonderful joy. Mahasukha paye. But he ran away out of fear of fame from Ramana, but fame followed Madhavendra Puri, actually came before him only. It's so very astonishing. No mails, no WhatsApp, no phone calls. Everybody came to know. Madhava Puri Shripad Aila Loka Hoila Khyati Sab Loka Asitare Kore Bahu Bhakti. People came to know that Madhav Puri Shripad has come to Jagannath Puri, the same personality for whom Gopinath has stolen sweet rice. Lokohila Khyati, everyone started coming and they started glorifying him, offering respects to him. Then Kaviraj Goswami says, Pratisthara Swabhave Jagata Vedit Yena Vanche Hoy Taro Vidit Vidhata Nirmit. That is the quality of Pratishtha of this world. Pratisthara Swabhava Jagat Vidit. One's transcendental reputation is known throughout the universe, not just in this world, not just in this place, small city, throughout the universe. Jagatavidit Yena Vanche, even though a devotee doesn't like it, but still Vidhata Nirmit. It is the providence. It is ordained. Reputation, a devotee will get fame, will get reputation. Some devotees may think that, well, we are not so famous. The transcendental reputation spreads all over the universe. Anyone starts taking to Krishna consciousness, it is a talk of the universe. It is not such a cheap thing. Devtas, even Devtas talk about the person who is taking to devotional service. And a pure devotee is famous all over the world. Yudhishthira Maharaj is described in the same way. Kim te kama surasparha mukunda manaso dvija adhijaharu mudam ragya shrudhitasya yathetare. Kim te kama surasparha. He had such fame, such wealth, such glory, such devotion. Even Devtas hankered for it. Kim te kama surasparha mukunda manaso. Yudhishthira Maharaj had no desire for worldly things. So Madhavendra Puri had no desire for fame. Yena vanche hoya tara vidhata nirmit. It is ordained. Pratishtara bhai puri gela palaya Krishna preme pratishtha chale sange gadaya. Out of pratishtha, bhai of pratishtha, he ran away from Ramana. But the beauty of pratishtha is Krishna preme pratishtha chale sange. The reputation brought by the love of God is so sublime that it goes along with the devotee, as if following him. People of the world, they run after fame, and fame runs away from them. That's why they said, Pratishtha Nari Sada Kumari. People of the world, they want Pratishtha, and Pratishtha goes away from them. And devotees, they don't want Pratishtha, Pratishtha follows them. Devotees are not interested in Pratishtha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in Bhaktyaloka, about this atyahar, about this prayas. He says there are various types of prayas people can do in this world. Karma prayas, jnana prayas, yoga prayas. One type of prayas he says is pratishtha prayas. Pratishtha prayas means the desire and the endeavor to be famous in this world. Even after coming to Krishna consciousness, if our actions are impelled by this desire that I'll become famous, I want to be famous by this. People should tell, oh, you are such a great devotee. You're such a wonderful devotee. And there is some problem. We will not develop that taste for holy names. We will not develop that taste for hearing, chanting. Because if we are attached to anything material of this world, Krishna will give that. But Krishna will not give devotion so easily. So that is the problem. Because Krishna wants unalloyed attention. Krishna yadi chute bhakte bhukti mukti diya. Kabhu Krishna prema na den rakhe na lokaya. He will give bhukti, he will give mukti, but he will not give devotion so easily because he becomes controlled by devotees. Narad Muni is telling to Yudhishthir Maharaj, okay, you are such a great devotee. The Supreme Lord, great sages, rishis, they are hankering, they are doing tapasya for many, many years to have his darshan. They can't see the tip of the toe of the Lord. That same Supreme Lord is there in your home. He is becoming your chariot driver, your messenger, your servant, your protector. Because you have unalloyed devotion. Otherwise, he gives anything. He gives bhukti, he gives mukti, but not devotion. Rajan patir gururalam bhavatam yadunam daivam priya kulpati kvacha kinkarova अस्त्वेव मंग भगवन भजताम मुकुंदो मुक्तिम ददाति करहिचित स्मन भक्ति योगम मुक्तिम ददाति. He gives mukti but not bhakti. So if somebody has desire for prestige, he'll get it because Krishna gives it. It is not. What is a big deal for Krishna to give fame for a person, fame to a devotee? Devotee wants, he'll get. But that deal is a very, very costly deal. He'll not get prema, he'll not get devotion. So Prabhupada writes, when a person out of humility does not desire fame, naturally people understand that he is such a great devotee and fame comes to that person. And then Prabhupada says that actually a first-class reputation is due Madhavendra Puri because he is the most confidential devotee of the Lord. Sometimes Sahajiya presents himself as a great devotee for reputation, but such persons, they cannot actually attain the platform of pure Vaishnavas. Madhavendra Puri, when people started coming and glorifying him and offering respects to him, he actually wanted to leave Jagannath Puri. But he had a service. Now he used that fame to get Chandan. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. A devotee is not interested in fame or no fame. If it is conducive for Krishna's service, I'll use it. Earlier it was not conducive. He ran away. Now it was needed. So he didn't run away. So he told, Madhavendra Puri told the servants of Jagannath Puri, Jagannath temple, the whole story of how Gopalji appeared. And then, he has instructed me to get Chandan. All the devotees of Jagannath Puri, when they heard this, they became so very happy. And they all started endeavoring to collect Chandan because Chandan, it was, not a public property. It was, kept under the supervision of king. So there were some devotees who were acquainted with government officials, so they started working on it because you have to have some recommendation and some permission letter to take Chandan out of Puri. So then ultimately, they acquired chandan and camphor. So camphor is used in arti and chandan is put on the body of the Lord. So along with the chandan and the camphor, one brahmana and one servant is also given to Madhavendra Puri to carry the chandan and camphor. And then some tolls will come. So the king, he gave, required papers, so that permission letter, so that he can easily cross through the toll. So toll collectors. So in this way, Madhavendra Puri started for Ramuna, and again he started for Vrindavan. On the way again, he reached this beautiful temple of Gopinath at Ramuna. So the pujaris, when they saw that, oh, Madhavendra Puri has come again, they became so happy. They welcomed him. They gave him all the respect. They gave him Mahaprasad. Madhavendra Puri, he honored that Mahaprasad. He danced and sang in ecstasy in front of Lord Gopinath. And Madhavendra Puri, he took rest that night in the temple. Again, third time, Gopalji came in the dream of Madhavendra Puri. This time said, oh, Madhavendra Puri, now we have brought this chandan and the camphor to Gopinath, to Ramuna. Now, please grind all the chandan and the camphor together and put on the body of Gopinath. Understand that there is no difference between my body and Gopinath's body. If you offer chandan on the body of Gopinath, I will experience that coolness. I'll be relieved of the heat. Prabhupada writes, Gopalji, he was so very concerned about the trouble this devotee Madhavendra Puri has gone through. He didn't want to, trouble him, put him into more troubles. Because he knew that on the way from Ramuna to Vrindavan, it was all Muslim government. So many tolls will be there, and he would be in great trouble. So therefore, to relieve the troubles of Madhavendra Puri, Gopalji appeared in the dream and said, please grind all the chandan and put on Gopinath, and I'll be happy, I'll be satisfied. So in this way, and Gopalji says, please do not hesitate, don't disbelieve me. Just put on the body of Gopinath, I'll experience that same, cooling sensation. So when Madhavendra Puri, he saw the dream, he got up. And then Gopalji, he disappeared after telling this. Madhavendra Puri got up. Next morning, he called all the priests, all the servants of Gopinath, and he told them what happened, what Gopalji said. All the priests, they were so very happy hearing this. Madhavendra Puri said, please grind this chandan and smear on the body of Gopinath. Whatever chandan I have brought for Gopalji, please apply on the body of Gopinath. That is the desire of Gopalji. And doing this, Gopal will experience that happens. Iha ke chandan dile Gopal hoilash haibashital swatantra ishwar tara agya se prabal. Iha ke chandan dibe Gopal hoibe shital. If you offer chandan on the body of Gopinath, Gopal will be shital. Gopal will be cool. Swatantra Ishwara. Lord is independent after all. Tara Agya se Prabal, whatever he says, that has to be done. Thy will be done. That is a devotee, so it is very, very interesting, and it is a really symptom of great surrender. It is not so easy what Gopalji did with Madhavendra Puri. All three times Madhavendra Puri, Gopalji came, it may look, wow, Lord is coming and the dream and talking to Madhavendra Puri, but every time it was a big test of faith, test of eagerness to serve, and test of not having any personal motivations. So now Gopalji, he says that, okay, you offer this to Gopinath. Madhavendra Puri, he was not even attached to this seva that, no, I should offer this to Gopalji only. This is a great, lesson which Madhavendra Puri is teaching. One should be attached to serving, not to service. As soon as Gopalji said, offer to Gopinath, Madhavendra Puri didn't rationalize, didn't justify, he didn't argue with Gopalji. Uh, I have no problem. All the way I have brought this. I will take it all the way to Vrindavan and I will offer it because everybody feels a sense of fulfillment and achievement. I have done this service end to end. I became successful in the service. But a devotee, he surrenders. That's why he's called a snigdha. Snigdha means he is ready to mold himself as per the desires of the Supreme Lord. Saratya parishada sevana sakya dautya Veerasanānugamana stavana pranaman Snigdeshu pandushu jagat pranatim cha Vishnu Bhaktim karoti nipatis charanara vinde. First canto, this verse comes in the 18th chapter, glorifying Pandavas. Krishna became their chariot driver, Saratya, constant companion, Sevaka, Sakhya, Dautya, messenger, Virasana, always protecting them. Why? Snigdheshu Pandushu, because Pandavas were malleable to the will of the Lord. Krishna was doing everything for them. So that's how a devotee is. He is only interested in satisfying the Lord in all conditions. Not that I want to do this service in this way only. So we have to be attached to serving, not to a particular service and not to a particular way of doing the service. That is very important. Because when we are working in institution, when we are working with devotees, everyone will have a different opinion and different way of doing a particular service. And if we are attached to our own way of doing service, then the service will not happen in a nice way. There will be clash. So therefore, he just surrendered. The Lord said, okay, offer it to Gopalji, Gopinath. We agreed. Swatantra Ishwar. Kaviraj Goswami uses the word Swatantra Ishwar. Lord can do anything. So that is the training we have to give to our mind. Krishna is supreme transcendental autocrat. We have to learn to surrender to the whims of the transcendental Lord, not to our desires, but to the will and whim of the Lord. Whim means Lord can say anything at any moment. So nobody can say, Madhavendra Puri didn't say, already, okay, Chandan was already being offered somewhere to your law form, right? Why you sent me all the way? And now you are telling me that we offer it to Gopinath. What is this? So we have to learn to surrender. It is not so easy. And at our level, how should we begin? By surrendering to the instructions of superiors. It is not so easy. Swatantra Ishvara. So the servants of Gopinath, when they heard, they became so very pleased that, oh, Gopinath will get Chandan in this summer season. They became so very happy. Madhavendra Puri said, and these two assistants, one Brahmana and one servant, they were bringing that heavy Chandan and camphor. He said, these two will grind the Chandan and you can employ two more people and I will pay their salaries. So interestingly, that is how Madhavendra Puri is giving everything. Whatever, small Lakshmi he was given so that he can pass through tolls and something. He said, I'll pay everything. In this way, Gopinath was being offered Chandan every day, and Madhavendra Puri, seeing this, became so very happy and satisfied. He stayed there and supervised the whole service till the time the entire Chandan and camphor was over. At the end of this, he returned back to Jagannath Puri and he stayed for 4 months of Chaturmasya there. Prabhupada writes in the purport about the details of Chaturmas. Now Chaturmasya started. Prabhupada writes, Chaturmasya begins in Ashad, June, July, from the day of Ekadashi called Shayana Ekadashi, and ends in Kartik Ekadashi called Utthan Ekadashi. And some people, some Vaishnavas, they begin from Purnima to Purnima, Ashad Purnima to Kartik Purnima. Prabhupada writes that it does not matter whether one is a sannyasi or a grihastha. Everyone should observe this Chaturmas. And how to observe this Chaturmas? Prabhupada writes, it is not so difficult. We have to minimize the quantity of sense gratification. I was just speaking, 1 hour back to some devotees about this austerity of Chaturmas. What austerities we should do? Bodily austerities? Maybe, many devotees, they do this bodily austerity. Eating less or eating once a day grains only. And some people, they don't eat grains at all. So all these bodily austerities, they can be done, but for many it is not possible. But at least some sense gratification we should reduce. Something which we are doing, like some people, they don't take fried items or sweets or anything which they like. We should try to give up that in these 4 months. That is bodily austerity. But greater than that is austerities of the mind. Yena kena prakarena manah krishne niveshayet. That is bigger austerity. Try to be focused, try to be more and more attentive. That is greater endeavor. That is greater tapasya. To have a determination and vow of trying to be attentive while we are chanting, while we are hearing, whatever devotional services we are doing. That's the greater tapasya. Manah Krishne Niveshayet is a very, very difficult tapasya. Not so easy in our conditioned state. Even higher than that is, okay, tapasya of the mind is, actually it is very, very difficult. Okay, going one level down, at least we can begin with austerity of the speech, trying to speak as much as possible only Krishna Katha. Trying to chant more as much as possible. These are the tapasyas which we should try to do. Austerity of ego, try to not criticize any devotee or for that matter anyone. That is very difficult. That is the vow we should try to take in these chaturmas, and that's how it will become our nature. Not criticizing, not finding fault with devotees. So that is the vow, chaturmas. Prabhupada writes, the real purpose behind the vow taken during these months is to minimize the quantity of sense gratification. All these things, they gratify our false ego, gratify our, anarthas, our senses. We have to minimize them and try to be more and more focused on serving Krishna, remembering Krishna. So that's how Madhavendra Puri, he was a wonderful devotee that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described the entire pastime to his devotees as he is, there in this Ramuna. And then Madhavendra Puri, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing the fortune of Madhavendra Puri, how fortunate Madhavendra Puri is. And Kaviraj Goswami says that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally praised the qualities of Madhavendra Puri and related all this to his devotees. Madhavendra Puri, Mahaprabhu asked Nityananda, can you even judge that whether anyone in this entire world has such type of fortune? Lord appeared 3 times in the dreams of Madhavendra Puri. दुग्ध दान छले कृष्ण यारे देखा दिला तीन बारे स्वप्नासी tare agya koila. It was not so, such a simple thing. 3 times Lord appeared in the dream of Madhavendra Puri. Dugdha dan chale. The first time he came just to, give some milk. Dugdha dan chale. Dugdha dan chale yaar Krishna dekha dila. And that time Madhavendra Puri could not understand, could not realize this. But later he understood that, oh, Krishna had come in the dream. Dugdadan chale Krishna yare dekha dila. Teen bare swapne asi tare yara agya koila. And then in 173rd verse, he is telling, Kaviraj Goswami says, Yar prema vasya hoiya prakato hoila seva angikare kari jagata tarila. And he became conquered by the love of Madhavendra Puri. That's what Lord told when he appeared in the dream of Madhavendra Puri in the first place. He says, Bahudina tomar patho kari nirikshan kabe asi Madhava more koribo sevan tomar prema vashe kori sevangikar darshan diya nistariva sakala sansar. Gopalji told Madhavendra Puri, I am waiting for you for so many days. Bahudin tomara pato kari nirikshan. When will Madhav Puri come and give me darshan? And when will Madhav Puri come and serve me? Kabayasi Madhav more koribo sevan. Tomar prema vashe kori sevangikar. I wanted to take service from you. That's why I appeared. And on that pretext, I will deliver the entire world. Darshan diya nistaribo sakala sansar. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorifying the devotion of Sri Madhavendra Puri. So Lord appears in this world only for one reason, to experience love and to reciprocate with the love of devotees. That's what Kunti Maharani tells. She's saying in the first canto, 8th chapter. Different people say different reasons of your appearance, O my Lord. Some people say that because Devaki Vasudeva prayed for you, that's why you appeared. Apare Vasudevasya Devakyam Yachito Bhyagat Ajastvamasya Shemaya Vadhaya Cha Suradvisham. Some people say you appear to kill demons. Some people say because Brahmaji prayed, that's why you appear. भारावतारणायान्ये भुवो नाव इवो दधौ सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो हि आत्मभुवार्थितः. Some people say because Brahmaji prayed, but some people say you appear to establish the Rajarishis, the saintly kings, saintly devotees as kings like Yudhishthira Maharaj. But the original and actual purpose of your appearance is what? भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्या काम कर्मभिः श्रवण स्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन्निति केचन. Bhave asmin, in this world, klishyamananam, people are suffering because of avidya. That avidya gives rise to kama karma, and that's why they suffer. To take them out of this suffering, you appear. Klishyamanana. And how you take them out of the suffering? By giving them devotional service. To rejuvenate the principles of devotional service, you appear. Shravana, Smarana, Arahani. To rejuvenate, to enliven the principles of devotion, you appear. शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्त्यभीक्ष्णशः स्मरन्ति नन्दन्ति तवेहितं जना त एव पश्यन्त्यचिरेण तावकं भवप्रवाहो परमं पदाम्बुजम्. That's how Lord appears. That's why Lord appears. He appears in many forms. He appears as deities. He appears as devotees. He appears as books. He comes himself. He's there as Chaitya Guru, guiding everyone, only for one purpose: to connect to them, to share and enliven the love which is there in the heart. Kaviraj Goswami continues. Yar lagi gopinath khir koila churi at eva nam hoila khir chor hari. Kaviraj Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, Madhavendra Puri is such a great devotee. For him, Lord stole sweet rice. That's why he became famous as Khir Chor Hari. And then Madhavendra Puri smeared the chandan on Gopinath. In this way, he was empowered with love. Lord Gopal knew that the provinces, they were controlled by Muslim government. And it will be very difficult for Madhavendra Puri to go through all these, carrying huge loads of chandan. So therefore, he just told him, Lord told Madhavendra Puri, just put all the chandan on Gopinath. I'll be happy and satisfied. And Kaviraj Goswami says, Mahadayamaya Prabhu Bhakata Vatsal Chandan Pari Bhakta Shram Korila Safal. Mahadayamaya Prabhu, Lord is very merciful and he is very attached to devotees. Bhakata Vatsal. So therefore, Chandan Pari Bhakta Shrama Korila Safal. So when Gopinath was made with Chandan, Madhavendra Puri's labor became successful because it was so very dangerous to go through all those provinces, and maybe that Chandan may be, some government, some Muslim government or tax collector, some toll may, just take away all the Chandan. So it was a very, very risky journey. So Lord made the labor of Madhavendra Puri successful by telling him to apply everything on the Gopinath. Purira prema parakashtha karoha vichar alaukik prema chitte lage chamatkar. Purira prema parakashtha. So Madhavendra Puri has set such a standard of devotional service. Alaukik prem, all his activities are uncommon. Alaukik prem chitte lage chamatkar. It is so very astonishing. Prabhupada writes, when a living entity feels spiritual separation from Krishna, he has achieved the pure prime success of life. And when one becomes disinterested in material things, he feels separation from Krishna. That is the success of life. And Madhavendra Puri displayed all these wonderful qualities. He had such intense separation for serving Krishna. He didn't mind all the difficulties, all the problems. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Madhavendra Puri was Parama Virakta मौनी सर्वत्र उदासीन ग्राम्य वार्ता भय द्वितीय संगहीन Parama Virakta, he was completely detached, Mauni, silent, Sarvatra Udasin, always neutral, no attachments. Gramya Varta Bhai, he was not interested in anything material, no mundane talks. So that is the quality of a devotee. Gramya Varta Bhai. What is Gramya Varta? Mundane talks, Prajalpa, anything which is not related to Krishna, be it politics, cricket, nationalistic talks, philanthropic talks. A devotee is not attached to them. When needed, he takes care of them. He's not talking about them unnecessarily. And in today's scenario, this is a very, very great challenge for a devotee community to be focused, to keep themselves aloof from Gramya Varta in this age of social media is so very difficult. And that is a problem. That's where devotees, they lack the enthusiasm. Their enthusiasm to practice bhakti goes down because they are not in touch with Krishna many times. And when we are not in touch with Krishna, when we are in touch with material energy, then naturally they go ill together. And the result is we can't advance with a great speed. Gramya varta bhay dvitiye sangahi. हे न जन गोपालेरा आज्ञामृत पाइया सहस्र क्रोश आसी बुले चंदना मागिया. Prabhu is continuing that Madhavendra Puri was such a great devotee that after getting orders from transcendental orders, Agya Amrit, Kaviraj Goswami is using the word in 180 verse, Agya Amrit, Hena Jana Gopalera Agyamrit Paya. Agya of the Supreme Lord, Agya of devotees, Agya of spiritual master, it is Amrit, it is the treasure, Agya Dhan, Agya Amrit. Kaviraj Goswami also speaks the same word. Payayar Agya Dhan Brajera Vaishnavagan Bandotara Mukhya Haridas Caitanya Vilas Sindhu Kallo Lera Eka Bindu Tarakana Kahe Krishnadas. It is the Agya which I have received from all the Brajavasis headed by Haridas. And that's why I am writing this book, Chaitanya Caritāmrta. Agya is Dhan. Agya is Amrit. It is a transcendental order. And therefore, he went all the way from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri. Thousands of miles. Sahasra Kosa Asi Bule. And although Madhavendra Puri was sometimes hungry, he would not beg. Anything would come of its own, he would accept it. Although he was not eating anything, he was carrying huge load of wood, sandalwood. And what was the quantity? What was the weight? He was carrying to 82 pounds of chandan and 8 ounces of camphor. 82 pounds. That's a huge. That means almost 40 kg. 82 pounds of sandalwood he was carrying along with camphor. Maneka Chandana Tola Visheka Karpur Gopala Paraibe Ananda Prachur. But that was the transcendental happiness of Madhavendra Puri. I will put all this on the body of Gopalji. He was not thinking about his own discomfort. He had nothing practically to carry. Very little bit of the money, and Kaviraj Goswami says he had nothing. Many times, as he was passing as he left from Jagannath Puri to Remuna, at some place it was confiscated by toll collectors. But when he showed all the permission letters, then it was released again. He was not at all anxious. He had nothing, still he was not anxious. That is a great devotee. He is fearless. Abhaya. Abhaya is the primary quality of a pure devotee. He is not fearful, he is not anxious. Madhavendra Puri was not anxious during the whole journey, although the whole place was filled with Muslims. And Kaviraj Goswami says he had nothing with him. He did not have a farthing with him, but he had no fear when he was passing through toll office. And then Kaviraj Goswami writes a brilliant verse. Mahaprabhu is saying, Pragadh premer ei swabhava achar, nij dukha vigna adir na kare vichar. Pragadh premer ei swabhava achar. That is the natural result of intense love for God. What is that? Nij dukha vigna adi na kare vichar. He never counts. He never thinks what all pains I'll go through. No, he does not consider personal inconveniences. Nij dukha, nij vigna. No impediments, no inconveniences. Na kare vichar. He just wants to serve the Lord. Prabhupada writes a very wonderful purport there. He says, in all circumstances, even amidst the great dangers, devotee, pure devotees, they undeviatingly carry out the orders of the spiritual master, orders of the guru with great determination, orders of Krishna, great determination. And whatever problem comes, whatever troubles comes, they think it is a mercy of the Lord. Tatte anukampa. Prabhupada writes, in any service, you will experience four things: scarcity, discomforts, impediments, and unhappiness. In any service we do, these four things will come for sure. Scarcity, some things will not be complete, some resources will fall short, sometimes money will fall short, scarcity will be there, sometimes energy will fall short. Discomforts, pain will be there, services will be troublesome sometimes. Impediments, some obstacles will come in any service. And unhappiness, sometimes thoughts will come. Such difficult say unhappiness. But even after all these things, if one continues service, that is love. That is called as love. Devotional service doesn't depend on the assets. It depends on our desire, our intensity of aspiration. What is our desire? All the assets will come depending on our intensity of aspiration. And Gopalji, he wanted to show how intensely Madhavendra Puri loved him. Bahu parishrama kori chandana remuna anila ananda badila mane dukkhana ganila. With lots of trouble and pain, he brought Chandan from Jagannath Puri to Remuna. He did not count the miseries. Dukkhana ganila ananda badila. He was happy that I will put Chandan on Gopalji. He was just joyful, happy, and engrossed in this thought. Whenever we are in some service and sometimes it is late night and some festival is there, oh, we count, itna ghanta kam soya. I have to, complete this. I have to, compensate this. Dukha naganil, he was not counting. इतना घंटा सोने को नहीं मिला, ये इतने प्रसाद नहीं दिया, भगवान ने भेजा नहीं, ये दुख ना गणिला. परीक्षा करिते गोपाल कैला आज्ञादान, परीक्षा कोइरिया शेषे होइला दयावान. It was the test of Madhavendra Puri. Pariksha karite sheshe. Gopal koila ajnana. Gopal gave Agya to test Madhavendra Puri, and when Madhavendra Puri was successful and passed the test, Gopalji became merciful. Everyone will go through the test. Sometimes in the gross forms, sometimes in subtle ways. Lord will test devotees. He'll test the eagerness. He'll test the understanding of Siddhanta. He'll test how he is loyal to the process of bhakti. All these type of tests will come. ए भक्ति भक्त प्रिय कृष्ण व्यवहार बूझीते वामी सबा नाही अधिकार. Mahaprabhu is telling such behavior exhibited in loving service between the devotee and devotee's lovable object Krishna is transcendental. It is not possible for a common man to understand. Common man do not have this capacity. So that is the beautiful, wonderful pastime of Madhavendra Puri's devotional service. We'll stop here. It is time now. We'll continue next time from 181st verse, 191st verse. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Madhavendra Puri ki jai, Shri Krishna Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.